All right, we're with Dr. Rhonda Glanzer and Wrangler. Big Wrangler, too. He gets bigger every time I see him, I think. Anyway, it's our tip of the week, and I want to talk about scraps at the dinner table because the holidays are coming up, and, you know, it's never going to fail. Someone is going to be slipping scraps under the table.
They sure will.
Well, what do we do? I mean, you know, do we warn the family, hey, that's not a good idea, or is it okay with some foods?
Well, what I will say is, in general, the best advice I can give you is that people food is for people and dog food is for dogs. And but there are a couple things that if you have to give, you can give. We'll get to those in a minute. But I'm going to pick on Thanksgiving because it's coming and lots of people have ham and turkey. And of course, a lot of people, sometimes the owners and sometimes the company, think that the dog should partake of the Thanksgiving feast as well. With those foods, they're very high in fat, and so they inflame the pancreas, which is the organ that secretes our digestive enzymes, and that can lead to vomiting and diarrhea. And in some cases, these are dogs that actually become very sick and even end up being in the hospital for a day or two to get them over that. So not only is it not good for the dog, but it's not good for your pocketbook either when you have to pay for that treatment.
Sure. Is your family like mine? I mean, we're sitting around, oh, don't feed the dog, but someone is going to, okay, just a little bit, and you know, everyone does a little bit, and next thing you know, the dog is...
Well, lucky for us, I shouldn't say lucky, but my mom and dad live on a farm, and so their animals are all outside, so that's not an issue at my household. So, but I mean, you hear it time and time again, you know, so-and-so fed it, you know, they were begging, and it's cute, and they was hungry, and then they're into the vet clinic to see me because of it, so...
Are there some things, though, that, hey, okay, that's okay, maybe some cooked chicken or anything you would recommend that, okay, maybe a little? Yes,
if you absolutely have to give your dog food off the table, some boiled chicken or brown hamburger and rice, but no seasonings, and also like some green beans or carrots are good as well.
Most of the things will just upset the dog's stomach.
Typically. There are, one thing, grapes and raisins are actually toxic and they can cause acute kidney failure.
Okay.
So that's probably the most common food that we see besides chocolate that can cause some major problems.
Well, I was going to say, that was my next question, chocolate. I mean, what does chocolate do to a dog?
Well, chocolate, depending upon how much they get and what type of chocolate it is, if it's milk chocolate versus baking chocolate versus dark chocolate, you can see anything from just vomiting and diarrhea to even heart problems to seizures and even worst case scenario death. And so you really have to be careful with that.
What do spicy foods do?
That tends to cause vomiting and diarrhea.
Okay. And anyway, basically just common sense on a lot of this stuff?
Common sense on a lot of this stuff. So, you know, as I said, dog food is for dogs. So remember that, and it's healthier for your pet and much better on your pocketbook.
There you go. Good tips from the Main Street Veterinary Clinic. Now we'll go check on our pet of the week. Here she is. Her name is Mercy. She's a lab mix and is less than a year old and is very playful. If you'd like to make a home for Mercy, you can call 755-2650 and ask for animal control.